Hello, Ridings.
The firm of W&J Riding, haulage contractor, has its origins over 70 years ago, in the 1920s, when young Jimmy Riding used the family farm horse and cart to deliver coal from the local railway station to the gasworks. His first motorised vehicle was a carrier lorry, bought in 1922, and in 1924 father Bill Riding joined him in partnership to form W&J Riding. It was not until 1927, when they bought their first Leyland wagon, that a successful business was firmly established, and the Ridings remained faithful to the Leyland mark for many years, adding the first diesel-engined wagon to their fleet as early as 1931. Denationalisation, after a 6-year period as part of British Road Services, saw the company re-emerge, now under the sole ownership of Jimmy Riding, and the expanding company was soon running rigid 8-wheelers and lorry-trailer combinations from their premises alongside the Blackburn Road at Longridge. However, by 1959, the company recognised the advantages of the operating flexibility inherent in articulated vehicles, and began the conversion of their fleet to this pattern. The company emblem of the gartered red and white roses dates from the mid-1950s, when Ridings opened a North Yorkshire depot on the south bank of the River Tees, and today the Riding name is carried by no fewer than 100 tractor units and 270 trailers. The bulk storage side of the business was set up back in 1968, and the company currently runs 64 bulk tanker trailers of the non-tipping type, ranging from 1,450 to 2,000 cubic feet capacity. In addition to their haulage activities, Ridings operate an extensive materials handling, packaging, storage and redistribution service for companies such as ICI. And here we see the transshipment of packaged PVC powders from storage to bulk tanker being carried out at the Longridge depot. The use of appropriate handling methods to minimise transshipment times enables the filling of one of these bulk transport tanks in the shortest time, and each of these purpose-made powder bags are reusable. Bulk distribution of PVC from storage is another of the regular materials handling jobs at Longridge. These trailer tanks are of 2,000 cubic feet capacity and are loaded by a hopper-fed motorised bucket-wheeled elevator. The ready-packed boxes of powder are placed above the twin hopper feed chutes to provide a continuous supply to the elevator. Bagged powders for direct shipment from storage are transported in taut liner trailers, and again we see the most effective use of forklift trucks and pallets to minimise the loading times. With such a large fleet of vehicles to maintain, Riding's Longridge Depot has its own extensive workshop, which copes with day-to-day routine inspections and servicing, as well as the more demanding repair work. With an annual fleet mileage of around 8 millions, inspection and replacement of brake shoes is an ongoing exercise, and vehicle tyre wear is monitored by a special team dedicated to this work. To administer such extensive day-to-day haulage, storage and handling activities, the Riding's main offices at Longridge are staffed and equipped to deal with not only the main depot workings, but also the sub-depots at Thornaby on Teesside and the Scottish area operations centred at Carfin near Motherwell. The team working in the busy accounts office is led by Richard Balshaw. The traffic office downstairs coordinates all vehicle movements and arranges any necessary associated cargo handling requirements. It is from here that drivers at Longridge obtain their daily instructions, and all vehicle movements are entered up on a day sheet evolved by the company. A manual system which Ridings have found to be particularly effective, although all other monitoring is now computer aided. The office is staffed by a team of 4, under the direction of traffic manager Mark Woods.
Right. Listen, there's a pallet note coming up tonight in the bag. Can you get that redeemed?
Alan Dixon and Alan Heaton are responsible for all vehicle administration matters. No small task with a fleet of over 100 to deal with. The working of the Vehicles Admin Office comes under the direct control of the fleet engineer, Jim Blezard, who has spent all his working life involved with Riding's transport and been with the company for the last 37 years. In 1983, Ridings were awarded a large contract by T.I. Bainbridge Silencers, now Timax Exhaust Systems, to move their products in 40-foot taut liner trailers to their area distribution depots in England and Scotland, and also to deliver the manufactured goods from factories in Staffordshire and Glasson Dock near Lancaster to the main storage warehouse complex at Blackpool. "24 taut liner trailers and 16 tractor units are constantly involved with this work, all the trailers bearing the Timax Exhaust's logo and livery. Smart work by the Timax loading teams cut down trailer turnaround times to the minimum and result in the frequent departure of loaded, riding-hauled Timax trailers from the Blackpool Central Warehouse. Before departure, all loads and vehicles are checked for fitness to proceed by a member of Riding's own staff, who is permanently based at the Blackpool warehouse. Here are three of the loaded units on the M55, en route from Blackpool to Longridge, for distribution by Ridings to specific destinations throughout the UK. All in all, the Timax workings generate over 5,000 vehicle journeys per annum, accruing a total of over 1 million miles. Another regular working local to Longridge is for Castle Cement Limited at Clitheroe, where the transport of both bulk and bagged cement provides annual cargoes of over 65,000 tonnes. The annual haulage by Ridings of bagged cement alone from Clitheroe amounts to over 31,000 tonnes.
All right.
Earlier on we mentioned the two Riding sub-depots. Let's have a look firstly at operations on Tees side. The Thornaby depot's main customers are ICI at Wilton, Bell Line at Teesport, and the packaging and storage of bulk materials for DuPont. The workshops here service and maintain the depot's allocation of 35 vehicles and their trailers. A substantial tonnage of material is handled for DuPont. Bulk cargo is collected, bagged and stored in Riding's warehouse, awaiting redistribution to the customer's requirements. Over at Teesport, Ridings are involved in the transport of goods for Bell Line. In this instance, the bulk tank is receiving imported refined sugar, for which reason the trailer tank is divided internally into 3 compartments to avoid undue cargo surging during delivery, which would otherwise adversely affect the sugar grain structure. In this case, the tank filling is being overseen by David Nicholson, the Thornaby depot manager. One of 2 ballast tractors specially modified to Riding's instructions, this Seddon Atkinson unit and trailer is permitted to load to 60 tonnes gross and runs between ICI Wilton and Teesport. Ridings bought their first Atkinson, a Gardner engine tractor unit, in 1963, and from then until the late 1980s continued to add this make to their fleet, insisting that those bought after the Seddon-Atkinson merger were still supplied with the old Atkinson logo on the grille. Here's another of the many Bell Line containers about to leave the docks. Back at Thornaby depot, here is another of the many Bell Line containers which go to make up the 8,500 vehicle movements a year undertaken for them by Ridings, an accumulated tonnage of 190,000. From Teesside, we travel across the border into Scotland to the other Riding sub-depot situated at Carfin near Motherwell. Traffic here is mainly concerned with the movement of bulk cement powder and of heavy rolled plates for British Steel. The Carfin workshops look after 11 of Riding's tractor units in addition to trailers and the depot transport van. These pair of pneumatic jacks are energised by the workshop's compressed air system and allow easy and precise lifting of vehicles. Here we see Fleet Tractor Unit number 33 over the pits for a routine service. Riding ERF Unit number 42 carries the livery of RMC, for whom it transports bulk dry cement powder in 24-ton loads. Here it is about to deliver its tank contents to the RMC batching plant at Wishaw. The Carfin depot also acts as a holding and transshipping point for some of the loads of rolled steel plate. All the Carfin activities are organised by depot manager John Elliott, a Lancastrian from Longridge, now resident north of the border. The rolled steel plates are collected from the Dalzell works of British Steel, where a constant movement of tractor units and trailers is loaded, weighed and dispatched daily. After weighing, most of the loaded trailers are taken to a holding park for collection by the long-haul drivers for final destinations. Annual haulage totals by Ridings for Dalzell steel plates amount to no less than 50,000 tonnes. So, there you have it. Carfin is the third point in the Golden Triangle, the three routes along which most of Riding's haulage is generated, some 600,000 tonnes of it every year. This impressive lineup of just some of the modern Riding's fleet is an indication of the successful expansion since the rebirth of the company after denationalisation in 1954. In 1971, Jimmy Riding sold his interest to Transport Development Group, since when the business has been conducted under the watchful managing directorship of Mr. T.W. Tom Riding, a third generation of the founding family. It was Tom Riding who, in 1982, purchased the derelict remains of this 1939 Scammell Rigid 8, which was painstakingly restored by fleet engineer Jim Blizzard to re-emerge 2 years later in the family livery.